So in this module, we will talk about the effluent disposal either into the land or into the river waters. So as concerned, the effluent disposal procedure, which is finally adopted by a particular manufacturer, is obviously determined by a number of factors, of which the most important is the control exercise of the relevant authorities in many countries on the quantity and the quality of the waste discharge. As I have already told you in our previous module, that the range of the effluent disposal method which can be considered: number one, the effluent is discharged to land, river or a sea in an untreated state, and the second is effluent is removed and disposed of the landfill site or is incinerated. So as concerned, the effluent is partially treated on the site prior to further treatment or the disposal by one of the other routes. So the part of the effluent is untreated and discharged as one or two strategy. The remainder is treated as a sewage work or at the site before discharge. So all of the effluent is sent to the sewage work for treatment, although there might be reluctance by the sewage work to accept it, possibly resulting in some preliminary on-site treatment being required or discharge rate and effluent composition defined. So all the effluents is treated at a factory before discharge. So as concerned, these are the treatment strategies. One is in situ and other is known as ex situ. So as concerned, the in situ, where that effluent is produced, we will have the different treatment mechanism there. So as concerned, the ex situ treatment, first we collect and first we send it to some sewage treatment. We have to be kept in all the sites accordingly. So we have to keep all these. As concerned, the disposal of the effluent to the sewers, the municipal authorities and the water treatment companies which accept the trade effluents, because the factory has the direct agreement with those sewer treatment, because if each and every industry has its own effluent treatment plant, that it will be more costly. Sometime in an industrial zones, there is a composite and a united effluent treatment, which we call as mostly the sewer treatment plants. So as you can see that if we visit to the Kasur leather industry part, there is a government have installed effluent treatment plant there. So that's why if there is an agreement and then the factory has to pay some cost for the effluent treatment, so then the sewage work has to the capacity to go with the estimated volume and the effluent, because according to agreement, according to the capacity of the total sewage system, very critical. So the effluent will be interfere with the treatment process. So the composition of the effluent, that should be remain the same, because at the time of the registration, at the time of the booking, at the time of the agreement with the sewage system, that should be, otherwise that can affect the whole treatment. So there are no compound present in the effluent which will pass through the sewage work unchanged and then cause the problem when discharged into a water course. So as concerned, the fermentation waste may be treated on site or at an sewage treatment plant. So by all that three methods, either that is the physical method, chemical method or a biological methods. So the final choice of the treatment and the disposal process used in each individual factory will depend upon the local circumstances and the local legislation and the regulations and containment level. So as concerned, the treatment process that may be described as follow. So the first one is the primary treatment, in which the physical and the chemical methods, in which mostly the sedimentation and coagulation methods are mostly used. As concerned, the secondary treatment, mostly the biological methods, that is activated sludge, conducted after the primary treatment. So as concerned, the tertiary treatment, in which the physical, chemical and biological methods, mostly microstrainers, sand filters, grass plot irrigation, that is used to improve the quality of the liquor for the previous stages. So as concerned, the fourth, the sludge conditioning and the disposal, that is the physical, chemical and the biological methods, in which the aerobic digestion is often used to conditions. So mostly the following dewatering, that is the centrifugation using of the decanter centrifuge methods, the sludge can then be disposed by the incineration and the lead feeding, etc. But most of the organic waste material may be degraded biologically or by aerobic or anaerobic processes using different organisms. The mostly widely used aerobic process is the trickling filters, rotating disc, contractors, activated sludge process, and there is other modification that is mostly used. So as concerned the anaerobic processes, that is the digestion filters and the sludge blankets, and the use both in the treatment of the specific wastewater and the sludge conditioning methods by the combination both aerobic and anaerobic strategy.